Alright, so quick update on the different tomatoes I'm growing this year. This is Dwarf, Melany's Ballet. You can see it's a very thick, hardy plant. I planted these about mid-April, and it is currently May 29th. Very thick stems, haven't needed to put any support, but I did have to thin off these suckers that it was producing towards the bottom. You can see that it's already setting flowers, and this tomato is generally just very well developed. No signs of disease, despite literally the past 4 weeks just being rain. Here next to it, I have also another dwarfing tomato. This is Dwarf Sneaky Sauce. A lot less vigorous than the Melany's Ballet. I haven't seen any flower clusters on this, so I suppose it's a later variety. Well, there's about a 6 to 8 inch difference between this Sneaky Sauce here and Melany's Ballet here. This is Dwarf Stony Brookheart. Just look at the thickness of these tomato stems. This one especially. It's like a broccoli stem. Extremely thick, very sturdy. We just had a pretty bad storm recently too, and none of these got knocked over. They're all very upright growers, and look how thick those leaves are. Potato type leaf. Very impressed so far with the hardiness and vigor of these varieties. I finally built out my tomato trellis indeterminate this year. This one is Dwarf Eagle Smiley. Now, I know it's supposed to be a dwarf tomato, but it's actually the most vigorous grower that I have on this trellis so far. It's supposed to create tomatoes that are yellow and taste very similar to Sungold. So I'm hoping, considering it's an open pollinated variety, and it's supposed to be dwarfing and obviously very precocious, that it could be a good replacement for that. Let's see, I think I saw a few actual tomatoes already set on this, and it's the tail end of May here. I planted these out in the middle of April. And right next to Dwarf Eagle Smiley, we have what is supposed to be Super Sweet 100. I think this is Super Sweet 100. You can see the flower clusters already forming here. There's a sucker I gotta get rid of right here. Now, last year I had a pretty bad problem with cracking with this variety. I probably should have got Sweet Million, but I want to try this again. These two rows, if you can tell by the prolific double blooms, this is a tomato variety called Berry's Crazy Cherry. This is a favorite from last year, so I decided to put it back in for this year. Crazy amounts of production all the way until frost. Basically no disease affected this, and it's open pollinated, so these are seeds that I saved from last year. Excellent, excellent variety. Highly recommend it. And then down the end here, this is Black Cherry. This is a variety that I really enjoyed trying at Tomato Fest last year, so I decided to buy a few seeds and test it out. As a bonus, it's also supposed to be resistant to cracking, so if it has a flavor and performance that I still enjoy for salads and sauces, then I might replace Super Sweet 100 with this for next year and try out a different variety. But I have a lot of people who really like that classic red tomato flavor. This kind of had that, but definitely a lot sweeter and with a darker, fruity kind of flavor that comes with those dark red tomatoes, the purple ones. On the right there I have the Black Cherry, And then left there, at a considerably higher height and already with fruit set, is the Dwarf Eagle Smiley.